Hey guys, I'm Doctor McFarland, and I am surrounded by so many great digital maulers, from the Helix to the Tonemaster Pro to the Headrush to the Kemper, and between these four, the reverb options are just amazing. And I've always kind of felt that the reverbs in the Headrush are a little lacking compared to some of the more ambient, angelic, lush style reverbs that come with the Kemper and the Tonemaster Pro. Even the reverbs in the Helix sound really, really good. So let's go ahead and dive in this video to the Headrush reverbs and just see what they're all about and what their strengths and their weaknesses are, so you can be more prepared when you start building your own rigs. All right, guys, so here on the screen is the Flex Prime editor, or the rig editor, or the web editor, whatever we want to call this thing. This is just the same preset I've been dealing with the last few videos. I'm going to dial in things a little bit differently. I'm going to bring up the gain. And I'm going to go ahead and get rid of some of these delays. You can see how dragging down, that's how you delete blocks from your rig if you want to do so. So we do have the 11 verb, we have a spring guru, which is brand new in 4.0. We have the spring reverb, we have the party verb. Let's go ahead and add all the other options here. We have an ambi verb. I'll do a long mod preset on that one. Let's do the air verb, and we'll start off with the ambient algorithm. And we have the shimmer. Obviously, got to have the shimmer in there. So that should be it. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Just double checking here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right. There's all the reverbs that we have in the Headrush. But within each reverb, there are multiple different algorithms and presets we can choose from. And which one should you choose to just get a really basic reverb? Well, we'll dive in and let's find out. So I know I don't want to start with the shimmer. I don't want to start with the party verb or the ambi verb or even the spring guru. Starting with the air verb here, we do have the ambient preset, a chamber, church, dense, hall, nonlinear, room, and studio. The main parameters for this reverb is time, size, mix, color, and tails. First thing I always do when I add in a delay or reverb effect is I turn on the tails. So that way, if you bypass it via a switch or within a scene, then the tails of that effect keeps going even though the block is bypassed. Now with this particular reverb, we can set the time to infinity, which just means it goes on forever or until the cows come home, whichever comes first. Okay. Most rooms, like this room I'm in right now, has about maybe a half second of decay time. So just for example, if I set this to half a second-ish, then I play, we also have the size really high. So let's bring the size down pretty far. So we have the size down and we have the time down by half a second. So this is what it sounds like. Okay, so it's definitely cutting off a little bit. Let's bring the size back up. Now, it sounds kind of strange right now, but if we bring the mix down to blend in just enough, then this is what we have. So that kind of lets you know that raise the mix up so you can hear what the effect is doing, and then lower the mix so you can blend back in your dry signal and just get a good balance of what's going on. So half a second is definitely a little too short for my taste. Let's go to 1 second. Okay, so that sounds pretty similar to the room I'm in right now, or just a normal 20 by 20, 10 by 9, whatever dimension a room would be in. And let's start cranking this thing up here. let's actually go back to 1 second and then raise the size all the way up. So now we've drastically made the size a lot bigger. So even with this one mode right here, which is technically just ambient, it doesn't have to be this long, lush sound. It can be a short room type sound if you want it to be, just by changing the size, changing the mix, and the time. Okay? And that's just if you want to help recreate a certain room type sound. We can also adjust the color to make it really dark. Okay, so that definitely brings the reverb way back in the background so you can just barely hear it. But maybe if you crank up the size at this point, so very simple controls. There's lots you can do with this one particular reverb. Obviously, if we go to like another algorithm like nonlinear, we get just a different feel to the reverb. Okay, let's raise the mix up. That sounds like it has a pre-delay built into it. Last one, let's just do a church type sound. Okay, bring the mix up. Sounds nice. And let's go all the way out to like, pretty long. Okay, the trap that you could fall into with the longer reverb times is the quicker you play, all those notes are going to start overlapping each other. And just like a sustain pedal on a piano, once you get multiple notes and multiple octaves going at the same time, it's going to start sounding very muddy. And I don't think that's something you would want. So anyway, so just keep that in mind when you're dealing with the longer decay times. But honestly, typically anything around, 5 to 10 seconds is more than long enough for your ambient ethereal type stuff going on. So that's the air verb, okay? Pretty simple. The 11 verb is equally as simple. We do have a pre-delay parameter on this one. We have a tone, which is similar to the color. On the air verb, we have a decay, we have a mix, and we have a tails on off, which I always want to turn on. Now, this one has a lot of different algorithms we can choose from early reflections, which sounds like this. Okay, which might sound cool for some country stuff. Okay, or just a very short room sound. Okay, we also have things like a medium plate, which is a very popular reverb for someone who watches my live streams. And that's very nice. It sounds really good. Maybe bring some pre-delay up here. And what I showed in a different video here recently was the extra long 1 and 2. These have a very cool modulated type tail to the sound. Yeah, I like that one a lot. Sounds good. We'll bypass that. Here's the Spring Guru, which I touched on a different video, but we have a lot of cool different presets here. Let's just go with a single type A. A lot of boing going on here. We can turn the mix down, maybe turn the twang up because we're feeling twangy today. Okay, pretty cool. Lots to explore with that one. Here's the spring reverb that's been on the Headrush for years, and it sounds good. Not as boingy and springy as the Spring Guru, but that's maybe all you need. So there's a little bit of springy boingy thing going on in there, but not as drastic as what you get with the Spring Guru. And let's switch over to the Ambi verb real fast. I'll do the party verb and the shimmer last, okay? So the Ambi verb is kind of strange. We do have a pitch tracking option in here, which is kind of neat. So there's a poly and a mono, and the range can be from slow to fast. Let's just keep it on normal. So there's a note on threshold and a note off threshold for this one. So it's going to be interesting. So it's really going to only turn on once your playing passes the threshold. So interesting. Let's turn the mix up a little bit more. Okay, let's turn the mod down. Turn the tone up. Interesting, right? I honestly don't mess with this one a whole lot, but it's sounding pretty cool so far. All right, let's go back here. Let's turn it up pretty high. And let's turn the 11 verb back on. Maybe not that high. Okay, so I still want to go and mess with the note on and note off thresholds a little bit, but let's check out the shimmer next. And we have different intervals. We can go as far as 2 octaves down and 2 octaves up. So let's just keep it on the octave up option here. Turn the mix down so we can hear more of our dry signal. Okay, that pre-delay is what's telling it to come in later after my note. So if we, turn the sync off and just make it really short. Okay, with this we can turn the high cut down. Helps tame a little bit of the high end. We can turn the tone down. It's kind of cool. maybe in the middle. All right, so honestly, my biggest beef with the Headrush reverbs and this shimmer verb in particular, it needs to be more washed out on the top end. The high shimmer octave is just kind of too piercing, and it needs way more reverb in the effect itself. So that high end gets washed out and it's just not as prominent in the mix. So that's really my only gripe and request from Headrush is take that shimmer, add some reverb on top of that within the same block, and just really subdue it and just, modulate it out and do some cool stuff with it. But as of right now, if I do use it ever, the mix is going to be way low, like 5% or something. Right? So we still have like the high stuff going on after the fact, but then turn on the 11 verb. So go back to the shimmer, turn that up. So the 11 verb is now acting as that washed out agent. But this is what they both sound like together. Okay, it works. Okay, it's not bad, but it's just something you gotta get used to. Okay, now the party verb, this thing right here, this is a lot of cool options. So we have a pure verb algorithm that sounds like this. And that's neat because it kind of swells in after the note. Maybe if we turn up the mix, turn down the damp all the way. It's this weird, lingering, kind of uneasy, almost vibrato type sound to it. It's weird. So let's hear how that sounds with the 11 verb. Turn the mix down to that. It's a sound. Here's a minor third, so it's going to add a minor third on top of what you play. So here's a C note with an E flat on top. And then a B with a D on top. Back to C. That can be neat for single note lines. Here's a major third. So here's a C and an E. And a B and a D sharp. C and an E. G and a B. That's a E and a G sharp, which is interesting. But then if you just try to play chords, it is weird. So I want to do it with chords. Here's a fourth above. That one's doable. Here's a fifth above. And then we start getting to the octave up, octave down type options. Okay, so now what I'm hearing here is this is taking what the shimmer sound is and doing that more ambient sound to it. So I don't want to be too judgmental on what's happening, but this is sounding a little bit better and closer to what I really want to hear and what I'm used to on these other units. So it's not bad. It's not bad. Let's turn on the 11 verb. Now we'll turn down the mix on the party verb. Okay. That sounds good. It's a sound once again. Octave down. Okay, a few more here. Triad. Which is weird. Just play a single note. And let's switch on down to a warp engine. Yeah, this one's more like a haunted, scary movie type thing. I can't do that. I can't do it. It's interesting. Here's a swirling. It's taking my request that I want to mimic on these other units, but they're just going totally left field and making it very weird sounding, which is not what I want typically, but you know, it is what it is. Here's the ominous sound. It's kind of cool. That adds in a lower octave there. Let's bring up the mix a little bit. That one's closer. I can work with that one. Yeah, I actually like that one a lot. Let's turn on the 11 verb. The low end lingers a little too much, but let's try this one. That one's cool. Ascension. A little too weird. Let's do the machine elves. So it's just getting too weird on that one. Sparkle. So that's what the Lush Sparkle preset is giving you, is that sparkle mode, which is nice. So okay, let's turn on the 11 verb and the dyne delay here. Okay, that's nice. Now, there is one more in here that I think is cool, and it's these random things at the very end. So, if you've watched through this whole video, this is you've waited around for this. This is kind of cool. So random one gives you this. It's like this sequencer kind of sound. Maybe it's what you would call in the Helix a glitch verb or something, or I don't know, whatever it is, but it's kind of cool. So, uh, okay, let's check out the other ones. Random 2. Verb and dyne delay. And one more, we have the random 3. It's weird to use in like a classic rock song because we really didn't have those kind of sounds back then. But if you're into the modern pop, alt rock type stuff, I mean, that might be right up your alley. If you think it's cool, then go for it, you know. But right now, I do like the random stuff. I like the sparkle. I do like the ominous because it has that lower octave. So between those 5 or 6 algorithms, the party verb has a lot of stuff going for it. And it's just really meant to be there for exploration and see what kind of cool sounds you can come up with. But it's not that instant cloudburst, Strymon-esque type stuff that you find on the Toemaster Pro and the Kemper. So it's just its own thing. So I can't expect it to act like something else when it doesn't. But do I wish it had more of that cloudbursty option in there? Yes, I do. So anyway, I can make it work. I've done a lot with a lot less. So those are my thoughts. Those are my opinions. The reverbs in the Headrush are good. But if you want to go into the cloudburst type arena that the Toemaster Pro and the Kemper have, then you might feel a little disappointed with the Headrush reverbs. But if you just want a good basic room, a basic spring, a plate, a hall, a chamber, I mean, they all sound good. So there you go. Leave your comments down below. I'm sorry this was a little bit longer of a video, but there's a lot to explore, and you just stayed right there with me. So I appreciate it. All links are in the description. They go to my website where you can dive deeper into the Headrush and enjoy some Headrush products that you can watch on for hours. And so thanks guys for watching. I am Dr. McFarland, and I will see you in the next video. Keep rocking.